Be straight up with me. Are you suspended?
No, I'm not suspended.
Why don't you have your license on you?
I just done it. I'm sorry, sir. I'm gonna go in the house.
Okay. Where do you stay at? Down here?
Right around the window.
Okay. Well, until I can figure out if you have a license or not, go ahead and take your seatbelt off for me.
I didn't even do nothing.
Go ahead and take your seatbelt off. Stop!
Are you fucking serious? Stay back. Are you fucking serious? Put your hands, buddy. Put your hands, buddy. I can't breathe. 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 I can't breathe.
Whose lives matter? Black lives matter! 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 Black lives matter!
We walk around talking about Black Lives Matter. Well, Black Lives mattered ever since 1619. So when we talk about Black Lives Matter as though black kids or black men being shot down in the street is something out of the ordinary or something, you understand, new, that hey, that's been our history throughout. Ain't nothing new. The only thing that is consistent is that we as black folk always want to address our oppression by asking those who oppress to relieve the oppression. We have to understand why the police are there. The police are there for two reasons: to investigate crime and to preserve order. The police are not there to protect you. And understand that. So when black folks talk about Black Lives Matter, black lives have to matter to black people.
Back up, we want freedom, freedom. All these racist ass cops, we don't need them, need them. Back up, we want freedom, freedom. All these racist ass cops, we don't need them, need them.
The controlled press, the white press, inflames the white public against Negroes. The police are able to use it to paint the Negro community as a criminal element. The police are able to use the press to make the white public think that 90% or 99% of the Negroes in the Negro community are criminals. And once the white public is convinced that most of the Negro community is a criminal element, then this automatically paves the way for the police to move into the Negro community, exercising Gestapo tactics, stopping any black man who is on the sidewalk, whether he is guilty or whether he is innocent, whether he is well dressed or whether he is poorly dressed, whether he is educated or whether he is dumb, whether he's a Christian or whether he's a Muslim. As long as he is black and a member of the Negro community, the white public thinks that the white policeman is justified.
It's on and on and on, and it's just so deep-rooted in our system. And we got to figure it out, we got to fix it, and that's why Black Lives Matter is so important, because, you know, we just can't take this huge percentage of our population and treat them all like dirt, because we die as a country if we do that. So, you know, we have to make that change, and it's a big change, and it's a revolution. It's things that you got to change mindsets, and you know, this rise of Donald Trump is just terrifying. But you know, what are you going to do? I mean, you know, it's like
bringing Brendan Glover. Now, what are you trying to get done here tonight?
I just want the city to know that we're tired of this racial discrimination that the police have towards our communities. 16 shots is very excessive.
Now, you saw the charge: first-degree murder, potential life in prison.
Yes.
Is that enough?
I feel like it's enough. I feel like the indictment was rushed because this tape was about to come out, and they had to do something about it. They had to appease the community, and this indictment was something to pacify us, and in hopes that we wouldn't come out here and protest and express our are discontent with the way the police operate in our city.
And you think without the tape there would never be any charges?
If that tape hadn't come out, they wouldn't have charged him. He would be still sitting at that desk job that he had now. He was still working doing this whole investigation.
University of Missouri is making strides for change. Obviously not. Racism lives here, and so do we. And if you're uncomfortable, I did my job.
You're welcome.
Tigers.
I had seen all the movements going on with different people of color feeling oppressed at their respective educational institutions. And I saw the pictures, all the solidarity with Mizzou, and I figured that it'd be a great idea if we could kind of take all of these people, take all this energy, take all of this desire to speak out, and kind of consolidate it and focus it in one protest, in one movement, in one day.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to win.
We must love and support each other.
We must love and support each other.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to win.
We must love and support each other.
We must love and support each other.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
Here's the thing, right? We are trying to free ourselves from oppression, so we are not going to appeal to the morals or to the values of people who are oppressing us. I'm not going to oppress someone's First Amendment rights of freedom of speech, but we aren't promoting violence. I think that's ridiculous, and it's just ridiculous.
It's good that our generation is starting to get active again. A lot of people, or some people that I work with, like to think of right now as preparation for an even bigger movement. So thinking about where we are right now, similar to maybe the 1950s with Montgomery bus boycott, sort of setting the stage for all that happened in the 1960s and 1970s. So I'm excited that people aren't just sitting down and not saying anything about what's happening, but I think there's a lot more work that we have to do.
I agree Black Lives Matter, but it should be all lives matter.
It isn't just about people that get shot. I mean, obviously it's disproportionate. They shoot people of color and poor people and more than other people. I mean, we know that. But it's the whole legal system. You know, it's the amount of arrests, it's the bail bond system, it's the jury system, it's all the way up to the Supreme Court. Our entire system just rocks with racism.
Then we're segregating ourselves again. And that's part of the problem in this country, is that all the segregation. So how about saying, yeah, Black Lives Matter, but let's include everybody's life so that we're not separated and we're inclusive of every race, every color.
I think what those people don't understand is that when Black lives actually matter in this country, all lives will matter, because Black people are and have been the most exploited population since the founding of the country. And so if we can create the material conditions for Black people to be safe, that means that everybody else will also be safe here. So I think that's just really important for people to understand.
I think the reason that the organizers used the phrase Black Lives Matters was not because they said they were suggesting nobody else's lives matter. Rather, what they were suggesting was there is a specific problem that is happening in the African American community that's not happening in other communities. And that is a legitimate issue that we've got to address.
I think there's a difference in the type of change I hope we can have and the type of change that is possible right now. Just because it'd be nice to live in a world where Black people are not just respected, but have been compensated for all of the exploitation and trauma we've experienced for the last couple hundred years in this country. But right now I think the best change we can see is just making sure that Black people are actually safe in this country. And I think that's what the protest today was about.
I think that, number one, it has to come from the grassroots. It has to come from people like us that are sick of what's going on in this country in so many aspects, not just race, But everything is wrong with this country, and until all of us say we've had it, we're sick of the politicians, we're sick of the police, we're sick of all this crap, nothing's going to change, because Washington just goes on like it is, and they don't really care about you and me. They care about their salaries, they care about making sure they get reelected, but they're not really into changing this country. So let's get all of us.
Black folks got to want to stop the violence being committed against black folk. We ain't tired yet. We still love massa.
I feel like the music industry, especially in hip hop, like they have such an influence, you know what I mean? Like whatever any rapper does, the youth is, you know, probably most likely gonna follow. But there are some positive role models in the music industry, such as J. Cole and Kendrick, who are making a change. And you know, there's others such as Big Crit, you got Tech Nine, you got MF Doom. But for the most part, like we need more positive role models rather than, you know, just the regular trap rappers. Not saying that trap music is bad, 'cause I love it, but you know, we want more of a positive influence on the youth rather than a negative. And that's why Black Lives do matter, you know?
We expect the enemy to be the source of our deliverance and freedom. So that's why we're always asking for the perpetrators of the crime to defend us. So when violence is committed in the neighborhood, we always want the police to settle it. We as black folks, you understand, have to establish security and order in our own neighborhoods. Through example, through structure, and through organization. You can't depend upon the persons that you claim to be the source of your oppression to deliver you from that oppression that they put upon you. That's illogical. It doesn't make sense.
But people are apathetic now. You know, everybody's just doing their own thing, going, he'll take care of it, he'll take care of it. Well, it's us that needs to take care of it. Or you guys, I mean, I'm way older than you, or you guys are going to inherit a mess, a real mess. And I wouldn't want to pass that on to anybody. So let's say all lives matter. How about that?
We should never change the narrative. You know why, my brother? Because really in America, it's black lives that don't matter. They're not being killed like us. Hispanics are being killed. Native people are being killed. And some poor people are being killed, white and black, but mainly us. So black lives matter, but do they matter enough to us that we would stop the killing in our own community?